Hello and welcome to Channel Sports on Sunday. I'm Kenneth Chonaga. I wanted to, do I say it is over? I don't think so, because she left just like maybe. I don't like the word retirement. And then we thought after what happened to her in Toronto when she went out in the first round. Of course, we told you last week that when she told Vogue that I am on the part of, okay, let me use the Nigerian words, if you understand, stepping aside. The next game where she played there was a sellout. 12,500 pounds bought the ticket, and thousands outside were waiting, trying to watch on the screen. Not even a men's game, any men's game in the history of that tournament has ever had that kind of sellout. But she sold it out just because we want to see her. And then it was homecoming to New York. Nobody expected her to go past the first round. She did. We cheered every serve, every return, every drop shot, anything you want to think of. And then the next one was against world number 2. Yes, it was supposed to be her Waterloo. It was supposed to be her non-dignant. It's going to be that this is the final game for Serena Jamaica Williams. But it wasn't. She sent out the world number 2. And we started dreaming. Could it be? And that is where the anticlimax came in. Angela said no. But then it was history to play the last match against the greatest tennis player of all time. You will see the stats. But then let's hear from Serena first and foremost before we continue and give you the intros on the show. You see, there are certain stories that you can never stop telling. I said it last week here on the show, myself and my guys, and we said, since they made that announcement, there will be over 1,000 cameras on her. Everywhere she looks at, whatever she does will be recorded. And when that Serenas story is told, the last games, the last 3 games or 4 that she played will be what Serena need. But before then, that story started way back in 1995. People thought it was in 1999 when she won her first slam. No, it started in 95. And that was even in Toronto. She started in Canada. That was she made her debut. And then the father, you see, I want to thank my parents, she said. And that is where some of us say we don't see the role of parents in bringing these geniuses. The father was their coach and taught them how to hold the racket. He went to study everything about tennis because he wants to teach these kids. I mean, they came quite late in his life, so he devoted his time doting on them. Tiger Woods, his father was his coach. Just last night, we saw Francis Tiafoe, the boy whose parents emigrated from Sierra Leone, worked in a construction site where they were building a tennis court. They were born in a container in a tennis court. And yet he is making the last 16. The story of African immigrants, those who has inspired them. But then Serena has inspired the girl child. I'm here with the creamy one. I brought him back. I brought her back because she has always been here. Sisi, that is the story of Serena.
It's great to be here on this special day, especially after, well, I wouldn't call, you said stepping aside, because during one of her interviews after her exit from the US Open, she mentioned that she loves Australia. Yeah. So we may just see Serena Williams Australian Open playing doubles or something like that. She also mentioned Wimbledon. When she was at the last Wimbledon, she thought maybe she would be retiring, but then she continued playing until she got to the US Open. Then 2 months ago, when she mentioned that, okay, she was going to retire at the US Open. But Serena, I mean, she's living it vague right now. She's living it open. Fine, she says she wants to step aside and do other things, concentrate on the Serena brand, but then we may just be seeing her maybe playing some exhibition games. And also, I wouldn't be surprised if I see her at the Australian Open because of the way she played. I mean, she didn't play like someone who is she will be 41, later this month. She didn't play like that. She played like as if she was 25, the old Serena we know, especially in that second round match that she played against world number 2. So Serena is someone who, I mean, she said she wants to remember as what? Who brought a fight, as a fighter. I mean, someone who brought something into tennis. As you mentioned, she has inspired so many girls. Coco Gauff actually had a big picture of Serena Williams right in her bedroom. And then there's another place where she said, in God I trust. You know, Serena happens to be her idol. So we've seen what she's been able to do, transcending tennis, all sports, all forms of lives, because you're looking at, if you're looking at a woman that you want to look up to, you look at Serena as a mother, as an athlete, as anything you can think about. The fact that she was able to transcend sport and also give so much to tennis. I actually want to see her continue playing, but then, you know, when the body tells you, the body clock is telling you, look, it's time to move on, maybe. We're definitely going to miss. There will never be another Serena, obviously, in tennis. But I don't know what Coco Gauff can bring to the table. I don't know what...
Sloane Stephens.
Sloane Stephens. She's so inconsistent, so I really don't know what she's going to bring in. But the only person I'm looking at right now as a black tennis player is actually Coco Gauff, because she's, I mean, she's great. She's really great.
Coco Gauff, she is great. And then they threw her into Wimbledon. And she did beat Venus Williams. And wow, what seriousness. Sissy said, Sloane Stephens, I do not know. So much talent, but so inconsistent, so lackadaisical. And she doesn't get angry when she loses. Coco doesn't smile. Do you see Coco smile? No, she doesn't. She is all business. Of course, Sloane Stephens has won Islam US Open. Coco will be dominant.
Yeah, I think Coco will be dominant. Yeah, that's an athlete you actually need to look forward to. I mean, talking about Serena Williams, we had to look at the titles she's won. It's so many, you lose count. I mean, 23 Grand Slams is something. I mean, there is no tennis player right now that's up to 20, man or woman. I mean, so she, talking about whether it's the new era or the old era, whatever. But then if you're looking at Serena Williams, what she has done for tennis, just take a look at it, 23 Grand Slams. That's most in an open era ever. Okay, and 73 WTA level 12 titles, also doubles 14. I mean, before we came on set, you said she has won 37 Grand Slams. I'm like, oh, when you say 37, it's really so big. But then you have to separate the doubles from the singles. Now, 14 doubles title. I mean, no one has done that. Then at number one, 8 times, different times. And of course, Serena slammed twice. And in one of her interviews also, she mentioned that her second Serena slam that she had is actually her best, her favorite, especially at the French Open, because of what she had to go through before she was able to win that. And of course, match record. Just take a look at this. Awesome. 108.58. What? Okay, all right. The prize money is 94 million. Gold medals at the Olympics, 4. I mean, the 3 in the doubles. I mean, you're taking a look at these statistics. I mean, some don't even have 1. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So if you see what Serena has done in tennis, I mean, career-wise, business-wise, in all forms of life.
Federer has won 1 double.
Why do you have to bring in the goat into this? We're talking about Serena Williams. That's why I said she is the greatest of all time, because no one come close as well. No one come close to Serena Williams when it comes to this. And you mentioned about the father, you know, what the parents did. I mean, if you haven't watched the movie King Richards, I think you need to watch it as a parent to see how to actually educate your child to becoming a great sports person. The story was more of Venus Williams. I mean, every time the father is talking to Serena, he always say that you are going to be the greatest of all time. He said, don't worry, your time will come. Venus was the focus at that time. And then people felt, okay, it's going to be all about Venus. But what happened? Especially when he mentioned that, yes, you are seeing Venus, but you haven't seen Serena. I mean, Serena, at the end of the day, ended up being the greatest of all time. I mean, even won twice more Grand Slam than her sister, who just won a 7.
Almost 3 times more.
3 times more.
Okay. We're celebrating Serena. We'll keep on celebrating Serena. It will be a process, an ongoing one. Sissy said something here that, of course, she said, when she told Vogue about this, the Vogue magazine, she said, I don't like the word goodbye. I don't like saying, I don't like retirement. I don't like. So she doesn't like retirement. You can say that. Then she loves Australia. And then Wimbledon has been good to her. So it tells all story that Serena is still there. Even if only the thoughts of her, playing in those tournaments is what we are looking about.
Maybe it's just an exhibition game. Just come, let's just see Serena. We just want to see her play.
You don't walk away when you have just beaten the 2nd-ranked player in the world in Annette Kontaveit I tell you, if you can beat number 2, then you can be number 1. Okay, before we go and meet our guest for today, a lot of other sporting stories that are, going around. We all look forward to the end of the transfer season. Let me tell you this authoritatively. Serena, not Serena, why? Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo is not going anywhere. He's playing for Manchester United. He will play today, if either from the bench or starting against Arsenal at that battle at Old Trafford. So you guys get ready to see him there. Spendings and spendings and spendings. The EPL break all records that are breakable. 3.88 billion spent in Europe, but the EPL alone has about 1.9 billion pounds. That's over $2 billion. More than what the La Liga, Bundesliga, and Serie A spent together. EPL dust them. Wow. They are serious. They're very, very serious. And then Nottingham Forest. People say they signed, wait for this, it's 21 players. The 22nd player will come because he's already a free agent. So they signed 21 players. But the true story about this, people will ask, if you sign 21 players plus those who come, what happens? No, it is not like that. 5 of those players that took came down there were on loan. They've left. Another 5 went on free transfer. So they have lost almost about 15 to 18 of the players that came with them because they took them on loan. Some of them, they are whatever it is, they were not their players. So now that is what they are buying. So please take it easy on them. For Nigeria, Sisi, I don't envy Sisi today because we've just been trounced by the USA. Since we'll talk about it, I won't talk about that. And also there is the unpleasant story coming concerning the Commonwealth Games, 4x1 meters gold medalist, that one of our athletes has been suspended for allegedly testing positive to 2 banned substances. And that means we're on the verge of losing that particular gold. And that will not, the African record will go, the gold will go, and then that's the best tournament ever. Oh my God, we're celebrating here. But then this becomes an anticlimax. Sisi will talk about that. I don't talk about unpleasant things. Especially where it has to be with ladies. We have a lady in the house, so she will do that. The countdown to the NFF elections is today's 4th, 26 days to go. So why not we want to join by one of the presidential aspirants. Is he ready? So that you guys can meet him and we can hear why he believes he is qualified to be the next NFF president. We have Dr. Chris Ameh right there. I think it's in Abuja. I hope so. Hello, Dr. Chris. How are you?
Hi, Ken. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You've done the needful, I suppose. You've bought the form, the expression of interest, and you want to contest for the office of the NFF presidency.
Yes, Ken, I have bought the form. And let me first thank you for having me on your show. Yes, I have bought the form. And of course, I intend to contest for the post of the NFF president. And if you recall, I was the first who declared my intention as far back as April, to run for this position. And of course, I'm not relenting in it. I'm currently consulting everyone that needs to be consulted. And I'm also selling my story to them about what we can do with Nigerian football if I am given the opportunity to lead the NFF.
Okay. Can you tell Nigerians who you are? What makes you think you are qualified and have the competence, experience, and whatever characteristics it takes to head Nigerian football?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, my name is Dr. Christian Ameh. I have a PhD degree in Administration and Organization of Sports from the University of Ibadan. I had worked in the Nigerian Football Federation previously for 11 years, where I served 3 general secretaries, one as PA, and the other 2 I served as their special assistants before I was poached to go to CAF to start off the new CAF Safety and Security Department, which I started in 2019. I have also been part of the FIFA panel of safety and security experts that have supported FIFA in the delivery of 5 different World Cups, including the Senior FIFA World Cup of Russia 2018, and I have been in that panel since 2015. I am the current head and founder of the Safety and Security Department in the Confederation of African Football. I believe strongly that with my experience, meaning with what I know about Nigerian football, having worked there for 11 years, and with what I am currently doing, which enables me to see what is happening across 54 countries in Africa on a daily basis, and my connection with FIFA in terms of my expertise provision of my services to FIFA, that has also taken me around the globe to see what is happening in other civilized climes. I feel it is time for me to come back home and try and contribute my own quota in a sector that I am extremely qualified and competently so too, to help reinvigorate and bring back to what it should be. So this is one of the major reasons why I decided to come home, because I believe that we can use football to create an internal economy in Nigeria that will be beneficial to all concerned that has any role to play within football so that they can be able to make a living from it. So this for me is one of the major reasons why I feel I should come back home.
Okay. Briefly tell us, how do you assess the current state of football in Nigeria vis-a-vis football across Africa and the world?
Well, to be honest with you, the current template that we are using in the administration of football in Nigeria is outdated. Don't forget that the NFF was an offshoot of the ministry system of administration. As such, the administration of football at the secretariat level still follows largely the processes that is required in any conventional or normal civil service office, whereby files have to be carried physically to officers for them to action it. Moreover, in contemporary football, and when I talk about contemporary football, I'm talking about this present age. Football has gone beyond what it used to be in the 80s. In the 80s, yes, things can be done slowly. In the 80s, things can be done, without any pressure. But now football, things change in every second. And we are looking at a situation whereby we will be able to transform our secretariat into a modern secretariat that will meet the challenges, of the current situation that is, that is confronting the world and football in general. Apart from the secretariat issue that we have to deal with, we also have to look at how do we develop football in Nigeria. As I speak today, when you look into our developmental programs, you find out that there is really nothing as far as development is concerned in the grassroots level. And it is our responsibility to, partner with our State Football Association and other relevant bodies that has a role to play in this aspect to ensure that football is developed from the grassroots. And I'll give you examples.
Sorry, I want to. I don't want to interrupt you, but I asked your assessment. What is your, how do you assess Nigerian, football? Where are we when you say, okay, this is the state of football in Europe, this is football in South America, where is our football? Are we competing? Do we have a football industry? I mean, so basically, what is your assessment of Nigerian football?
Let me just use the response of the director of the National Bureau of Statistics to answer your question.
Okay.
The director was invited by the presidential panel that designed the 10-year master plan. And they asked this director what data he has on football. And he told them that the National Bureau of Statistics has no data on football. So what that means invariably is that the football sector is not in existence. So if I'm to answer your question, I will say that our football is not where it should be in terms of its performance, in terms of its organization, and we can still do far more, because we are far, far, far away from those we should be rubbing shoulders with, like countries like Morocco, Egypt, South Africa, Algeria, Tunisia. We cannot compare. We can't compare ourselves with them. We are far away from them. I hope that answers your question.
All right. You've been part of the working within the system, not part of this board. I'm going to choose my question very carefully. From what you told us, you served under 3 secretary generals, understanding the system as PA to one of them, and then so probably within that system, you can give us to rate in the past 8 years of our football in terms of development and every other area. How do you rate what has happened to football in Nigeria in the past 8 years? Have we stagnated? Have we improved? Or has there been a decline?
Well, I would say, if we look at the developmental pillars, I will only answer straight to the facts of what I know. In the last 5 years, no coach in Nigeria has been trained by CAF. This much I can tell you. And when you don't have coaches that have been trained, then it means that there's a problem with your developmental program in your country. As we speak, no stadium in Nigeria is meeting the grade A standardization protocol of CAF. What this means is that you do not have any facility to play football at grade A level. What you get is provisional approvals, okay? So this again goes to show that there is no investment in infrastructure that you use to play football. As we speak, the people that are responsible in the organization of football matches across Nigeria, I'm talking of the State Football Association secretaries, they have not been trained in the last 30 years. It does not have to do with the current board. I'm talking about a systemic problem. These gentlemen and ladies are secretaries of state football associations responsible to provide support services in the organization of either the Premier League game in their state, or the National League game, or the Nationwide League game. And they have not been trained in over 30 years or more. And the question is, how do you expect them to perform when they don't even know what exactly to do? Again, this goes to show that we have some challenge in that area. And when you now come up, you come up to look at our academy system.
Okay, I want you to hold it. I want to hold it there because we want to go on a very short break. When we come back, we shall hear your plans. Like we said, what has equipped you for this journey, and what do you think your chances are in emerging as the next football head of Nigeria? Stay with us. We are going on a very short break. We'll be right back. All right, you're welcome back. It is Channel Sport on Sunday. We are having, he's the first, he said, to say, I want to do this. And I'll tell you because I chatted with him yesterday as like I chat with some of our guests before they come on the show. And he said, look, there are so many things I've done that's trailblazing, and this is it. And I promised you last week we'll start with this. Today we would have started with about 4 of them. Sometimes we don't say these things because we say, what are other candidates? We tried as much as we can. Others said even until this morning, they were still confirmed while we're discussing. Others were on their way and stuff. But then it happens. When you do a live show, if it's a recorded show, then we can record it and bring it to you guys to watch. But then when it is live, it is either they are available or not. But we are lucky to have a competent and a pace setter. But before we go to him, let us just welcome Okwe Emiajola to the show. Okwe.
Thanks, Ken, for having me. And I just found it a little bit funny when you were asking for the scorecard, whether we are progress or we have regress or we are stagnant. So definitely even the highlight, which is more revenue, but when you talk about disposable income, you see that we have actually regressed.
We have regressed. Okay, let's see if we still have Dr. Chris Ameh right there so that we can continue with this interview. All right, Chris, we are back. Before we went on break, like Okpe also listened to the question, and then he has also answered. That is his own perspective. But your own opinion, you've given it to us. And then let us go straight to this. What are you bringing on board? What you say? Look, my presidency as the NFF president or the NFA president, I still call you guys, I still call the house the NFA because there is a law that says so, and that law has not actually gone out. So here we know where we are. But let's come to it. You talked about in the document you were trying to show you the roadmap which you are talking about on how to position Nigerian football. You talked about performance. You talked about the leagues, which I look at some of these things and you tell us what you want to do. You talked about participation. You talked about facilities, academies, revenues, and then social responsibility. Probably those are the key heads. But let's start with performance. What performance indices are you looking at that you want to improve on or put in place?
Thank you very much. When I talk about performance, I'm talking about a situation where we are going to encourage meritocracy and stick by meritocracy. For you to make it to the national team, you must be the best that Nigeria can prefer. For you to be the coach of our national team, you must be the best Nigerian or the best that we can get. That means your CV must be better than what any Nigerian has. Okay? So performance is tied to the quality of people that you get into your team. Performance also in the sense of the administration, meaning we will also establish a good governance structure that will be built on transparency, accountability, and integrity. Our governance structure needs to be enhanced, and this is part of what I am coming to do. So when I talk about performance, it simply explains that we need to get people in the right places with the right qualifications and expertise to perform, either as administrators, as players, as coaches. Things have to be done correctly. And you can't tell me that in Nigeria we cannot find this quality. We have them. So we have to ensure that these processes are put in place that will give us the best in terms of the best players, in terms of the best coaches, if we want to recruit one, so that when we are going for a tournament, it will not be that we did not go with our best legs. It will not be that we did not go with a handler that understands what to do. So there will be no more this paddy thing, that is associated to the Nigerian factor. Where even
okay, we don't want to know if I want to ask what those paddy things are, but that is not the issue. I want to take two things together, and I want you to put it in context. The leagues, the Nigerian leagues. You talked about the Nigerian leagues. You talk about the development of the league, and then revenue. Explore new commercial and retail opportunities. You want to improve spectator experience. Now, how do you intend doing that? But I want to ask you this. What has been your involvement so far in all the years you have been within the FA's system on this safety and security? Our fans stopped, a lot of persons stopped going to watch football matches in Nigeria because the places are not safe. So what have been your inputs? Have you interacted with the FA, with the Nigerian Football Association, or even the state football associations? Has there been a forums where you have brought them together and try to imbibe the culture of safety and security in our football?
Let me tell you straight up. I facilitated the organization of training for one security officer from each of the Premier League clubs in Nigeria. and I trained them. Okay? I trained these gentlemen, 20 of them. And unfortunately, as I speak to you, I still get messages from these gentlemen that were trained that they have never been given opportunity to function. So I don't know what more I can do from my position in Cairo. I don't have the power to enforce that they must be given opportunity to function. The best I can do is to expose them to the knowledge, which I did. And they all have certificates. Certificates jointly signed between FIFA Secretary General and the CAF Secretary General. You can ask them, you can find out. I wrote to the NFF to give us 20 people, one from each club. They wrote to the LMC to give the names, and the LMC conveyed it to the NFF, and I organized the training. So Nigeria was among the first 12 countries that participated in the intervention program that was organized for clubs in Africa.
Our stadium.
While other countries have moved on.
Yeah, Dr. Chris, our stadium, in your own assessment, are they safe for spectators? We've seen incidents of fans attacking the referees. We've seen incidents of fans attacking opposing teams. We've seen incidents, or even those who run these clubs physically attacking the referees. So have you looked at this area in the past 10 years, or in the past time that you've been there, and then make sure that they evolve a culture of safety on our football grounds? Hello, Dr. Chris.
Let me tell you something, Ken.
Yeah.
When I was, can you hear me?
Yes, very clear, very clear, very, very clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Good. When I was the head of safety and security, when I say head, I was actually the National Safety and Security Officer. At that time, I was already working with FIFA. We made efforts. I mean, the security committee, myself, and Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusso, we made several efforts, did several presentations that we needed to have a safety and security training. We needed to have NFF safety and security officers that will be assigned just like match commissioners to go to every league game to support in the organization of safety and security. But of course, as usual, these things were never done. None of it was done. So I cannot sit here now and tell you that our stadiums are safe because we are getting reports. We get reports about how referees have been attacked, how away teams have been attacked. And this all does not paint a very good picture for Nigeria, to be honest with you. And these are the things we have to correct.
Do you have a blueprint? Do you have a blueprint? Have you written out? Have you? Sorry. Yeah, we are still on this. I hope we are. Sorry, I want us to be communicating. Do you have a blueprint of that you have written out how our stadiums can be safe, how the officials behave? Have you done this maybe in teaching? Apart from the 20 guys that you have, the 20 officials that you trained, just okay, this is like I said, the roadmap. This is the blueprint for us that you can give to them to say, okay, you read this and you study this, and this is you trained so that they can imbibe. It can become a general thing, plus from the fans to the management and also everybody involved in the team. Do you have something like that? Have you ever done something like that?
Ken, I wrote the first safety and security regulation in Africa.
Okay.
And that safety and security regulation has been given all member associations. If you open it, it tells you what you are supposed to do to organize a safe and secure match. It is free on the website of CAF. You don't have to pay for it. I have also distributed this freely to everybody that needs to get it because it's free. We have done it in English, we've done it in French. So there is a guide, there is a written guide on how you can manage a match venue from day one to the very end, how you can manage spectators from day one to the very end. And we monitor what is going on in every country. We monitor what is going on in every country. And we advise, just as we advised yesterday for the match, my staff got wind of some information on the web that tickets will be distributed at the gates
Yeah.
And immediately we wrote to the Nigerian Football Federation to advise, reminding them of the articles that stipulates that tickets must not be sold at the gates. And they responded that this is not going to happen. So we are responsive in our duties to oversee what is happening across 54 countries. And we are also advising member associations on what we believe should be done. It is left for the member association to heed or not. And if there are issues, we also propose sanctions from our end. Okay? So we have a document which is called the CAF Safety and Security Regulation, which is available, which has also been made available to both clubs, to both federations. And it is only for people to implement it. Countries that have taken it to heart and are implementing it are doing very well today.
Okay. Okay, let's. I think we take that there because we're running out of time, and then we want to manage the time. Let's go to revenue. That has been the major problem. No money, whatever. So how are you going to make the FA solvent? 1.2 billion averagely they collect from the government every year to run the secretariat, and then whatever activities that they have. I mean, this is definitely not enough. Of course, the present FA said they are about 70 or 70% self-sufficient. We have not seen all that because we are still having issues of no payment of allowances, payment of salary, a lot of things that are supposed to do with money. We owe coaches. Even the last coach that is sacked, they have not finished paying him. We are still owing. So how do you intend to make the FA? In fact, you said something about social responsibility. I mean, you just have to get the money first before you try to do all that. So how can the FA take care of itself before taking care of the communities that are involved in football?
Let me help you, Ken. Let me help you because I see you are excited. Now, when we talk about raising funds, I am an expert in administration and organization of sports. In sports management, there is what is called POSCO. It's an acronym. It explains the functions of the manager. P stands for planning. The NFF must first have a plan. O stands for organizing. You must organize your plan. S stands for staffing. You must then, based on the organized plan, determine the personnel that will be required to execute the plan. C stands for coordinating. Then you talk about how you coordinate. And R talks about reporting. What are the reporting mechanisms? That is the governance that you put in place. And then the last item, which is B, talks about budgeting. So you cannot be talking about money when you have not itemized clearly your plan and the demands of how to execute your plan. I am strong from an organizational point of view in how to set up a good governance structure, how to make sure an entity is running effectively. Don't forget, apart from being a PhD holder in administration and organizational sport, I'm running off my MBA from New York St. John University, England, in leadership and management. So when the house is ready, Ken, interested organizations would want to affiliate with you. When your house is good, then you can say you want to rent it out for people. But you have not built the house and you are looking for tenants. Your matches are not played on good pitches. Your matches are not secured. You say you want to look for sponsor. Which sponsor will bring his money to such an event? Can you compare what is happening currently in other areas of entertainment and what is happening in football? People in the music industry have organized themselves. Money is flowing to the music industry. People in Nollywood have organized themselves. Money is flowing into Nollywood. People that are also making people to laugh. They sell table at times as much as 5 million, 10 million. Why? They have organized themselves. So we need to first organize our football and develop programs around our football. I am planning, for example, to partner with Youth Fund for primary school games, to partner with NUGA for university games, to partner with NIPOGA for polytechnic games, to partner with NASEGA for College of Education Games. All this partnership will lead into programs, and it is the program that you serve. You don't just say, I need money. Money comes based on programs. So my job is to look for ways to make sure that the NFF starts to function normally. I will consult the services of professional marketers who will go and market what we have based on what we are producing, okay? I will not go and be begging people to come and give NFF money when we have not arranged ourselves. And they ask you, what is your governance structure? How do you intend to use this money? What are the things, what are the programs you want to do with this money? NFF does not start and stop with the Super Eagles alone, or does not start and stop with national teams.
Yeah.
We have a responsibility to ignite an internal football economy in Nigeria. We have a responsibility to develop capacity of everyone that is involved in the development of football or participation of football in Nigeria. My concern, my major concern, is to see how I can use football to create jobs in Nigeria so that when I retire tomorrow, I can become a consultant somewhere, either to a club or an academy, and still be having something to eat. But today, anyone who retires from football, Chris, that have been covering football for many years, you have nowhere to go.
Chris, let me, you don't know why I'm laughing. My colleague here sent me a question that to ask you. And it was as if it is an intuition, because that was exactly what you just answered the question before we asked the question. Okpeyemi asked me this. He said, Platini was a consultant to Blatter, the FIFA president. He said, peradventure, you do not win. Can you serve in a consulting capacity? He did say that is the question he just sent to me to ask you. And then you're talking about you want to contact the consultant. So let me just put it this way. So we'll round up the show on that. What are your chances of emerging as the next NFF president? And if you do not win, like Okpe has just asked, will you serve? Will you be as a consultant to the FA?
Well, my chances is in the hand of God. My own job is to tell the story to every stakeholder, to engage them. I'm meeting with the North Central chairman on the 6th, and I'm going to be talking about what I want to do. Before I forget, Nigeria has also qualified for the beach soccer, and I hope that we will prepare this team to give us victory in Mozambique. This is just by the way, I just remembered now. Okay. Because now we are losing out in qualification. So that the one we are qualified for, let us prepare them for Mozambique. So my victory is in the hand of God. And I am not desperate to be NFF president. I'm only desperate to see a change in Nigerian football. I'm not looking for a job. I have a job. I'm always interested to come and say, we can do things different, okay? If the stakeholders listen to me and agree, then I'll invite the leadership. And I can invite my friends that I have met all across my work outside this country to come and help us. About consultancies, I have been supporting the NFF even while I am not a paid consultant. And I will continue to do that. I don't need to be a consultant before I support my country. Right. So I have been supporting, I have been advising, and I will continue to advise.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chris. We hope and wish you the very best and see how the elections will pan out on the 30th of September. Thank you for being our guest.
Thank you very much, Ken, for having me on your program, and hopefully we can partner together again in the near future. Ken, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, that's Chris, Dr. Chris Ameh. He's contesting for the presidency of the FA. We're going to a short break. When we come back, Okpes in the house, Sis in the house, we open the lights. Who takes it at Old Trafford? Is it Manchester United or Arsenal will go unbeaten? Stay with us. Okay, You're welcome back. Channel Sport on Sunday is what you are watching. You've heard Dr. Chris Ameh. By next week, we shall bring more of them. Today, we'll have had about 4 of them. So we're going to have a party, and the parties will move on until on the 30th when 26 days to go. They will go over there, and we don't know for now uncertainties because those who went to court since December 2021, I also tried to go to court. I said, you guys have your AGA. We withdrew the case in the court. You didn't talk to us. Now, we said, the president even said, expand the House. But you guys said, it is the 44 members. You have, inaugurated your electoral committee and your appeals committee. The elections are going on. What of the electorate? Are we having 44 or are we having 111? The lines are open. You can join this show. Tell us your take, your highlights of the transfer season. Like I said, CR7 stays. Aubameyang is back to Chelsea to reunite with his former coach. Arsenal must have done very good because, the additional Saliba, Gabriel Jesus, and Zinchenko put them there. They won 5-5. Haaland, he said, I am goals. 10 goals in 6 matches. And popular. Yes, last season, CR7 scored 18, and they said this guy, maybe before we played 10, he would have scored 18. He does banging, it goes like no man's business. And Liverpool played a barren draw in that phase to encounter with Everton yesterday. So a lot of things are happening in this. So the lines are open. Tell us what you think. Sisi, before we go to Okpe. Okay, 4-0. 4-0.
Come on now. It was on the strength super focus. Now, take a look at the US team. When you see the starting lineup, you have players that have played for years as up to 196 games. I'm talking about come on. Yes, it was 4-0. We understand that. Yes. But if you look at the US team, as I said earlier, Alex Morgan, she has scored 119 goals for the US, 196 games. Lindsay Holland played for the Olympic Lyon that won the Champions League, right? She has about 116 games and 26 goals for the US national team. Then you talk about Sophia Smith, who has scored 12 goals for the US national team. Now, we were playing against a veteran, and our star players were not there. I said to Shola, of course, she's still injured. She's not the one. Ngozi Okobi not there. Halima Inde not there. Onomebi not there. Francisca Odega not there. So they had to even bring 4 players from the 4.
Why did you guys go to the USA?
No, they invited her for international friendly. It's a FIFA free window. So when you want
to be slaughtered,
Mr. Ken, wait. We are preparing for the World Cup. Now, this is a FIFA free window where players have the opportunity to actually play. Countries have opportunity to play. South Africa played against Brazil. They lost 3-0. So, and that's African champions. So, the last time we played US in the summer series in June, we lost 2-0 because we have compliments of most of the players. Now you don't have them. 4 players have to be drafted from the 4 continents who just came from Costa Rica and spent how many days on the road to travel to the US less than
Let me ask you this.
So go join the squad that were there. Yes, so if you look at how we prepared for that game.
That's what I want to ask you.
We are happy that it was 4. It could have been more.
It is a FIFA window.
Yes.
We know we are going to do this. Yes. The invitation did not come a day before. And then the players spend 4 days on the road. Others are absent. Don't just answer. Let me ask Okpe. Okpe, Ghana came in here. Before that match, the coach also complained. The players did not have access to train, even 2 days before at the same pitch. The accommodation, they were complaining and everything and stuff like that. Do we have an FA?
Ken, it boils down to what premium do we place on sport. I think it was Mr. that was saying we're moving away from play thing to serious business. President Obasanjo paid the state visit to France. President Chirac gave him
Okocha's jersey
of PSG. Kylian Mbappe should have been a Real Madrid player today, save for that call from President Macron that said, no, you cannot go. You are a national asset. Pelé was declared a national asset. In Brazil today, it's only Pelé and Neymar that can never contest for Player of the Year because they were declared as national treasure. So what premium do we pay to the service of the game? General Dia in 96 said, in Nigeria, football is the great grandmother of all sports. But today, where are we? Our ITO Cup is still on. We are still in season 2021-2022. when Alan already has 10 goals in 2022-2023. So that tells us what premium. And that was why when Dr. Christian was talking, you can see, I'm not trying to campaign for any candidate, but I think we should take ourselves more seriously. And if the federation's competition, we cannot conclude it. That just sums up everything we have done in the past 7 years.
Maybe because it's election year and they are all preparing for the elections, so maybe that's the reason. But then about the Super Falcons, second leg is return leg is coming up on Tuesday.
Yes.
So I think maybe we'll play better. So by the time because I mean, you play as the way they travel on Tuesday and then you're playing on the Saturday. So I think that alone may be responsible for that. But judging from what happened in WAFCON and everything, I think the Super Falcons, the first half wasn't a good game. But the second half, when they got into the game, they played better. And then we could see those passes stringing together and everything coming to place. So we're losing funny. I don't think it's really like we have to cry or anything because of, I mean, you see the US squad. The US wanted to play the best in Africa. They were expecting, I mean, the real Super Falcons. I'm sure players like Alex Morgan
the fourth best team in Africa. We are the fourth best team in Africa.
We are still the best team in Africa. We are still number one, ranked number one in Africa, mistaken. We have 9 titles, and only the US also have the same 9 continental titles. Okay. No other countries have that.
Let us go to Jos. Who is there? Who's calling us from Jos? Shaggy. Okay, let's see. Shaggy, how are you? Hello. Oh, we're back to you. Okay. Hello. Your call is on hold. Can you just, how do I do? On mute or on, is it on hold? Okay, we've lost that call. You can still call us and get us here. Let me give Sisi some slack. Bayelsa United have just qualified, for the CAF Champions League.
Yes.
I mean, beating
4-0, 5-0, beating everybody. Unbeaten all through.
Unbeaten,
the Waffle beat,
just scoring goals,
which was really good because I was actually afraid, especially when Coach Moses Ajiku. Sebastian Flourish. She was just coming from the under under 20. And if you check last season, she didn't play most of the league games because she was always with the Super Falcons, with the Falconets. Immediately she came back. Thursday morning, she had to travel down to Côte d'Ivoire to be with her team. And of course, her coming in, she actually contributed a whole lot to the team. So I'm hoping and praying that they can, win the CAF Champions League, especially with money now included. The last time when they played, there was nothing. But right now, there's something to really play for, and that money would do a whole lot for Bayelsa Queens. From the way they're playing, before they went to Côte d'Ivoire, the fear was that the coach who took them to the title, he's gone. He moved over to Edo Queens. We're thinking what's going to happen. But I'm happy that he built a solid team, that he left with them. And with the new addition of Sebastian Fleur and some other players coming in and everything, we've seen what Bayelsa Queens have been able to do on the regional qualification, and of course they booked the ticket, winning that Wafubi tournament. So hopefully they can build from there and go into the real continent in Morocco, of course, and see if they can.
Sorry, let me just stick with her. So that she can stay.
No, but maybe you should just add for the Super Falcons. Since Wardrobe came on board, we have not moved forward. So all this about fatigue and what, I think she's trying to move away from the issue of coaching. So where do you see Wardrobe in the scheme of things for the Super Falcons?
What I'm saying, the reason why I didn't want to bring is that we can actually judge Wardrobe from what he did at the Nations Cup. I won't judge him by this game because of the situation around it. I don't know how many coaches will be able to cope with what happened with the way players came in and everything.
Okay.
But then if you're looking at Wardrobe holistically, let's just judge him from what happened.
Let's go to Abuja. Idris on the line. Hello, Idris.
Hello, Ken. How are you?
How are you?
I'm very good.
Yeah.
Good afternoon to you and happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, Idris. Hello.
My name is Adama Idris.
Okay. Go on.
The immediate past director of Federation.
Please, can you repeat it? Director of what?
Director of Marketing, Nigerian Football Federation, immediate past.
Okay.
How are you, Mrs.?
We're all fine. Sis is fine. Okpa is fine.
Sis is looking so beautiful. Is she coming in from California?
Yeah, she has been transformed to China Sports Sunday. So she has to look beautifuler.
Thank you very much. I chilly, quietly, and I listened to Dr. Christian. His presentation was very perfect, very current, and I see in him the future of Nigerian football. Mm-hmm. But since I am a stakeholder and I belong to Nigerian football community, for us to be able to do the needful, let all of us check whether the Nigerian Football Federation that we know and we used to know is what it is now. If it is not what it is now, and it is not what we expected for it to be, then we should be able to check our conscience and come up with what we need to do on the 30th of September. I see quality in what Dr. Chris has said. Quality in terms of administration, quality in terms of planning, and quality in terms of future. And many of them are very qualified, but I think we should come together and bring out someone that we think will be able to lead Nigerian Football Federation to the next level.
Thank you very much, Idris.
I don't want to talk much about this issue until we see one-on-one.
Okay.
Bless all of you. And
when you come to Lagos, one day we shall meet. All right, thank you, Idris. I will appreciate your call.
Thank you. God bless you.
Bless you too. Okay, speak for her this time around because it's all ladies. It's all ladies. Speak for her. Speak for her. It's a brome. Toby Amoso. They will be in the finals of the Golden League.
Yeah, it's expected.
Yeah, it's expected. No, but of course, it's a one that forced the Diamond League on Friday.
Yeah.
So that tells you, and of course, Afisa, the heptathlon champion, Olympic champion, she was there, and of course, it's the other, I think, 6.93 or so. Mm-hmm. So it tells us that, okay, the ladies, they've never let us down. The 12 gold medal from the Commonwealth, and so
12 gold medal. One is going on.
Let's wait for some. Come on. Let's wait. This provisional suspension.
I think the Toby fever now, because prior to that 12.12 or 12.06, the 12.25 by the Bulgarians stood for like almost 26 years. Mm-hmm. Before Kedra did that 12.27. So from that the 12.26 that looked as if it was unachievable. Yep. People are not even eating it. Like the 12.27 was met on Friday by what is this lady's name? The Olympic champion, Camacho. So I think the Topi fever now is driving everybody. So people who said people were running times that were unbelievable, they should go and check it. I think people are now actually closing the gap, and we can only wish them well in the final season so that they can actually get the real diamond.
Okay, you talk about 12 gold medals. Let me come back to sorry, it's not often unpleasant. The story of Chris.
Yeah.
Chris Mwokocha. Yeah. What is breaking? They said, look, sample A, they saw two banned substances. Yeah. We're talking about Ostrin and Ligadron.
Ligadron, yeah.
And then she's provisionally suspended.
Yeah, you know, what that means is they still need to investigate and see when the B sample comes out, whatever it's found there, then maybe that's when we'll be stripped of that 4x100 meters gold medal. The test was taken August 3rd, you know, so it was after the World Championship, because I was actually afraid, will it affect that? But it was taken at the Commonwealth Games, so it means it's only the result of the Commonwealth Games that will affect Nigeria. But now, from what has happened, I think this is coming from coaching. from what we've seen so far, is coming from coaching, because she's not just the only one. The son of a coach also has been banned. So it simply means that there are so many things to look into this. And if you check, if you take a look at, I'm talking Randolph Ross, so the athletes now that it will affect, so Biloba Amuso actually, you know, she was there. Favor of Philly, Rosemary Chukuma were the ones, the quartet who actually ran that 4x100 meters relay. So it's going to be very heartbreaking, you know, after the much celebration and everything, that gold medal will be stripped from Nigeria. We'll wait for the B sample and just see what's going to happen. But the story right now, it's not pleasant. It's just the fact that Nigeria may just lose that 4x100 meters.
But we are going.
Medal.
The story is not pleasant, she said. We're losing we might lose the gold and lose the record.
We might lose the gold and lose the record as well. So it's a Super Sunday. Arsenal, Man U, going for a draw.
They are going for a draw. Okay.
Ronaldo is playing in Europa League. That's the news right now.
All right. She said that is the news. What do I say? It's a Super Sunday. I want to wish you guys a Super Sunday. I'm Ken Ochonogo. Have a blessed Sunday. We drop the pen.